Once you have your After Effects file ready to go, you need to add the assets. So first I'm going to say, well, I want to get the stuff that I had loaded up in my folder that I know I'm using. So I'm going to double click. I'm going to go to the project folder for this. And when the import file opens, I will navigate to my folder. I will find it in the list. And then I will decide which of these files do I need. Well, if I want to bring in all of my PSD files at the same time, you can do that. You're going to have to answer questions for each one, but I'm going to bring all the PSDs in at the same time. So I can click and shift click. I have another file in the middle. I don't want to get this folder. Then I can use command click to get the rest. And these are all footage, so I want to change that because my Photoshop files, I want to bring them in as composition retain layer sizes. And now I'm going to say open. It brings them all in. Now, to make sure that I have things organized, and since there's so many of these and they're just small little snippet things, I'm going to make a folder. So you come down to the bottom of the project window and you can open up a folder. And I'm going to call this pictographs because that's what they are. And I'm going to start putting them in. So I'm going to select a bunch of them and put them into pictographs. And then I'm going to get a bunch of these. And I want to make sure I'm not going to take in my opening montage. I don't want to put that in the folder. Okay, so now I have a cleaner looking setup here. Now I know I want to get some other things that I didn't yet put in. I'm going to minimize. I'm going to come over here and I know that I want to find some of the files that I have on here. So I want to use my runs and I want to use my character and I want to use the run jump and all the ones that are runs, I want to get those. And perhaps the puppet walk and the Blair figure. So I'll drag those in. And I'll close this now. And meanwhile, in this folder, I can't move anything around that I've already imported because it will make things too complicated. But since I know what's in here is just these particular positions, I can go ahead and say I'm going to use this for all of my walking. And so I'm just going to call this walk. Or let's see. So I'm just going to call this AE walk. I'm going to get rid of the puppet. And then I'm going to come in here and make a subfolder and call it main keys. Because those are the important points in the walk cycle. And then I will drag anything that has to do with running, walking into there. Because it will make it a lot easier when I'm importing. Okay, so that looks good. And now I'm going to open this up again by clicking on it down in the bar. And I will save this with a name. File save. I'll make sure it's going into the correct folder, and it isn't right now, so I have to find the correct folder. because that was the last one I was working on. And here it is. And now I'm going to call this one AE 2301, my initials, 3. Okay, so now I've got a name for my project. It's all in the same folder. I'm going to double click, and now I want to find the things that I just brought in that I need to import. So I need my Illustrator character, and I want to make sure I'm going to import this as a composition and retain my layer sizes and say OK. And I want this to be a composition, and I want to have footage dimensions, layer size, OK, and there he is. Okay. Now I'm going to double click again, and now I want to bring in, okay, I want to get some of my runs. I want to use the JPEGs because I'm not going to use them as anything that's going to show in the last. I just want it to be something I can use as reference. I'm going to bring all of the JPEGs in, but I'm only going to use some of them actually. So I'm just going to say open, and there's my JPEGs. And now I can see what else do I need in here. I've got my running. I don't think I need the dogs right now. And I think I'll bring in the front back run and also the run jump as JPEGs. So I have some more sources to work with. And I think there should be a woodman somewhere. I'm going to get the woodman, so I'll have someone that I can use from the front. And I think the woodman would be on my, in my thumb drive. And since I don't see it right away, I'm going to do a search for the woodman. So File, Find, on this thumb drive, a file name that contains woodman. Okay, so I can see I've got the articulated woodman, and that is the folder I want. I know he's in there. So my articulated woodman would be this guy or this guy? This guy. Okay, he looks good. So I want my articulated woodman. So I'm going to copy the articulated woodman, and I'm going to paste him in here. Then I can open up my After Effects file, and I can go to my folder and get my articulated woodman, and I want him to be imported as retaining his layer sizes. And open that, and there he is. So now I have things I can work with, and I'm going to File, Save. Okay,